One of my companies is a crafting company, and our clientele is, I call them crafty Carols. They're 60-plus-year-old ladies, right, who primarily live in the Midwest. Literally, my target demographic is 60 to 85.
Mm-hmm.
And so, do I have product market fit to get an NFT introduced to that audience? I do not.
Yeah.
I do not, and so it doesn't make sense. I can't expect my customers to be bandwagoned onto a MetaMask or a Temple wallet. So whatever. So I can't do that, and so you have a younger demographic, which is way more helpful, and so you probably do have product market fit. So then the next question for you is why? Why would I offer an NFT, and am I just creating extra steps for the novelty of it, or am I actually introducing something that's going to be beneficial? So I'm really interested. I'm really curious about you. Would you mind telling me a little bit more about yourself?
Yeah. So I've spent my entire career in recruiting and selling recruiting services. And so a large part of that had always been resume writing. And I'd always written resumes for family and friends. And for the most part, I'd do it for free. And then one day in 2014, my brother-in-law came to me. He was a teacher applying to be an assistant principal, and he asked me for help. So I wrote it, and he got the interview, and he got the job. And on the day that he got his offer letter, he came by my house and dropped me off a 6-pack of beer. I was like, yeah, sweet. And he's like, yeah, the 6-pack of beer was $9.99. And I'd spoken with a resume writer who's going to charge me $250 an hour. So that night, I created a profile on Thumbtack, which I don't use it anymore, but it's a service matching website, and got my first client that night and resumes as a profitable hobby. Did that for a few years, did some freelance work for monster.com, theladders.com. And I got lazy and relied more on the freelancing stuff than going out and doing it myself. And I was like, this isn't really, if I'm ever going to work for myself, I actually have to work for myself. And so in 2018, I stopped doing that. I took all the money I'd made writing resumes that year, put it into a website. That's when Post Up Careers was launched. I used to be a basketball coach too, hence the Post Up. And I steadily grew Post Up from a few clients a month to, I think this month I'll probably do 30 or 40.
Wow.
And
Congratulations, man.
Thanks. It was literally last February is when I first made more money doing this than I did in my day job. And I was still working.
That's such a good feeling.
Yep. March and April, the same thing. Then after seeing my wife through her career search, she changed jobs. I didn't want to leave as she was in the process of changing jobs too. On May the 4th was my last day. May the 4th was with me.
Nice.
And so I now work for myself, and business has been steadily growing. And so like all that's humming along. And I've been trying to learn, like set aside time each week. And sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't, about NFTs. I remember sitting in my office in 2008 at Aerotech, and one of my recruiters came up to me and was like, yeah, I just bought 20 Bitcoin. You want to get in? They're like $100 a piece. And I'm like, man, no, I don't want to get on that. Ultimate kick yourself moment. And I don't want to be sitting here in 2027 or whatever. I don't even know what year it is, 2022 to 2032, kicking myself that I didn't at least try to do something with an NFT. What I can't quite figure out is how to pair a service with an NFT. Because I don't see a lot of that, right? I see digital art, I see multimedia, music, all of that. I mean, I've got some cool photos on my camera, whatever. But how could I pair a service with that? And I like watching your TikToks, and I was like, let me set up a discovery call, see what he thinks, and see if he might be able to help.
That's really interesting, because there's so much. The way I'm looking at NFTs now is much bigger than just like you talked about, like the art and the multimedia. There's something bigger there, like you said, and there 100% is. It's like the internet, like in the beginning when in 96 and 97, 98, everybody and their mom was coming out with an internet-based company. We're going to sell dog food online. We're going to do this online. We're going to do this online. And it has sense, it balloons and then it shrinks back to the core essentials of what it is. And we're going through that now, and will be going through that even more with NFTs. Whereas, yes, it's starting out as like this movement of art and artists, but that's just the lowest hanging fruit for people to be able to, to utilize it for. And so then that begs the question, well, what's it going to become, and how do I use the technology to, kind of mix it with my service-based business so that, we can use the power of NFTs, and we can also, not like just become like an art company or just sell some pictures.
Right.
I totally get that. And so the way I like to look at it is, what about my business would require or could benefit from exclusivity, something that can't be forged, a membership that can be transferred, or something that would give you extra perks. It's like, you could just come out with a coupon, right? But then people could just allegedly copy the coupon, or
Right.
make copies of it. And so that's where NFTs can really help in that sense, for like discounts and services and memberships and stuff like that. So I don't know. I'll bounce it back to you. Is there a part of your business that you think could benefit from any of those types of things?
And there's a couple things that came to mind because I take notes each week as ideas come to me. The first is some sort of like membership, like career coaching network. I've been toying with the idea of creating like a Facebook support group for any client that can join, to just bounce their job search off of other job seekers as a place for, where they can do that. And, that could be a potential option there. Like, I have a resume review service that exists solely to get someone to pay me to write their resume, because 95% of people's resumes are bad. And people pay $69. I spend a half hour with them, go through their resume. And then 9 times out of 10, that $69 is kicked towards the resume writing fee. So it's a sales funnel piece for me.
Nice.
Could I pair something like that with an NFT? Because you could sell, like, if you buy an NFT, then you can turn around and sell it.
Correct.
And they can turn around and sell it to somebody else. I would get a portion of that sale plus a potential new client. I do a lot of name, image, and likeness sponsorships with college athletes now. So I write their resume, I kick them $100, $200, and then they promote me on their social media. It's been really good from a business, like getting new college graduate clients, some sort of NFT with them. But that would probably end up requiring a shitload of compliance from the NCAA that I don't necessarily know that I want to go through. So the things that I keep coming back to are the resume review service or the coaching network.
Interesting. So the question you want to ask yourself is why? Why would you do it? Why would it give value to your customer? Are they going to be, and do you have product market fit? Those are the two questions. Why, and do you have product market fit? One of my companies is a crafting company, and our clientele is, I call them crafty Carols. They're 60-plus-year-old ladies, right, who primarily live in the Midwest. Literally, my target demographic is 60 to 85. Mm-hmm. And so, do I have product market fit to get an NFT introduced to that audience? I do not.
No.
I do not. And so it doesn't make sense. I can't expect my customers to be bandwagoned onto a MetaMask or, a Temple wallet. So, whatever. So I can't do that. And so you have a younger demographic, which is way more helpful. And so you probably do have product market fit. So then the next question for you is why? Why would I offer an NFT? And am I just creating extra steps for the novelty of it? Or am I actually introducing something that's going to be beneficial? Mm-hmm. And the example that I think of is a gym membership. When people go to the gym and they buy their gym membership as an NFT and they use it, and then they don't want to leave anymore, instead of canceling, they just turn around and sell their membership pass to someone else.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I think that's really cool. But how do we do that with your business model? And so I think there's some potential there. I definitely think there's some potential there, but we have to figure out how to make it so that it benefits the customer first and then us second.
Yeah. The product marketing fits, it's very much there. Like you said, I've got a younger demographic. I mean, yeah, I've got a few retirees that I work with, but the large majority of my clients are in tech. They are in IT, and they're in that mid-career looking to take a step up. Most of my clients are managers looking to become directors or directors looking to become VPs. And then, April and November, my college student clients will take up because they're about to graduate. And
Can I interrupt you and ask you a question real quick?
Yeah.
Knowing from hiring people and from being someone who has done that whole job hunt, career-wise, resume, like fucking hardcore resume, like building, nothing stops someone from writing whatever they want on their fucking resume. Nothing really stops them. And so are there any services, such as like college transcript services, that verify that the resume is true? Or like, would it be, could you offer any extra clout to someone's by signing on it? Like, hey, this resume is an NFT, means it went through this verified resume service, so we can guarantee that this thing was true and correct, and so that the business owner doesn't have to stress about things being lied to. I don't know,
That's
just ideas.
A background check run by ADP or any of them will confirm your dates of employment and your job type, but it won't confirm whether or not increase supply chain efficiency by 75%.
Right. Yeah.
Reference checks won't even do that anymore. And so
maybe it's unnecessary. I was just thinking along those lines of like having like a stamp of approval along with it.
It's interesting because everybody wants to employment verification is a thing that companies do. I'm just trying to figure out where, instead of hiring ADP to run a background check, they just check the NFT mint.
Yeah, it's a little far out. It's a little, in the ether still. The idea hasn't quite taken shape. But along the lines of like the checks and balances, because once an NFT is minted, like you can trace it back to the owner and you can tell like, no, this didn't come from that person. It's not theirs. It's not real. It's fucking fake. And it's a really, really very decisive and easy way to tell if something is legitimate or not legitimate. And that I think is the most powerful aspect. And so maybe there's a way there. Maybe not. Maybe not.
That's interesting. I'm gonna put some thought into that.
If you came with a certificate, like a certificate of approval, like this is, but then again, I don't see where the value would be for them first and foremost. So yeah, please continue.
The other thought is like, all right, here's an NFT and I'm your career coach for 12 months or however long it might be. But then there's a value there to both. But then what happens when they sell it?
Yep.
So if let's say they buy 12 months and then they've got 6 months left, then they could turn around and sell it.
Yeah.
But if they complete all 12 months, like they couldn't necessarily turn around and sell it because then I got a new client who's used up 12 months. Like.
Yep. Exactly.
It's a challenge.
Yeah, it's a challenge. Yeah, maybe you go the route of exclusive membership club. Mm-hmm. Maybe you go the route of referrals and you start becoming really tight knit with recruiters, and the recruiter network is they buy into the recruiter network and they're able to have conversations with people, and once they get a job they can sell their pass, and you only accept 100 people into the recruiter network at a time.
That's interesting.
And so it's just ways to make people feel special and also not let the ticket for admission be forged.
That's interesting. That's a good idea.
Yeah, we have a lot.
One of the things I've been trying to do is broaden my recruiter network. They're a great source of referrals to me, and vice versa. They'll send me not only they'll send me a candidate to rewrite their resume, but then if they place that candidate, they'll kick a fee back. And so I think there's probably something there as well.
Especially with your ability to scout out talent, because realistically, every single conversation you have with somebody, you're like, I'd fucking hire this person. They just need to change their resume around. Or you're like, I wouldn't hire this person. I'm going to change the resume around anyway, though.
I for the most part, I will not work with somebody that I wouldn't be comfortable referring, because if I want a pretty strict recruiter, but I mean, there's some people where you're like, it's just not going to work. And in that case, they're going to be somebody's problem, not mine.
Yep. Oh, you know what, Franklin? Maybe it doesn't have to do anything with resumes and NFTs. Maybe you just teach young athletes how to get paid a proper amount by wrapping up their intellectual property in a non-fungible token. Maybe there's something there. But you have this weird hybrid of like athletes, young people, Gen Zs, and then also people searching for jobs. Like, you might not have to include it in the resume business.
Yeah.
Another way.
I mean, there's like salary negotiation. I mean, because I do more than just like salary negotiations, job interview, it's mock interviews. It's, I could sell an NFT that had, what if there's an NFT that had, 6 mock interviews?
Yep. Totally.
3 or something. Most of my clients only need 3.
Yeah. And then they could like gift it or sell it to their buddy, and then that would drum up more business. And, yeah, there's lots of interesting ways to do it, man.
Can an NFT expire?
Yeah, you can. An NFT can do whatever you really want it to do. It depends on how complex you want to get with coding it.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And so you can have a bunch of different variables that need to be met in order for the smart contract to execute, or you can have it be super simple, like escrow.
So how do you typically work with your clients that are in a position like me?
Well, I'm just super passionate about NFTs, and I don't really have any direct link to working with people in that space. I own a couple of different manufacturing companies and some e-commerce companies, and then of course my personal brand. And I just started teaching, talking about the stuff that I love on here, and it got really popular, and people started to pay attention. And I was like, oh, I need a way to, continuously put out this knowledge. And so I created a business school to help people, who basically it's for people who quit their job during the pandemic and want to start a business.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm over the 9 to 5. I need to figure out how to write a business plan, get an LLC, pay my taxes. I need to get it now. I need to learn all of it. And so that's why I designed the business school. It's down and dirty and efficient. And then I do monthly coaching with other individuals as well too. Some people just want to talk to me every other week so that we can line up their goals and knock them out, or systematize their business, or solve challenges, so they can scale. And that's who I work with on that side. But I don't really do any other specific NFT work besides working on my own project right now.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. I still got to figure.
Yeah.
This has been super helpful for sure.
Good. Now, when you're looking around, Franklin, there are really 3 main blockchains right now to do NFTs. 2, in my opinion, are legitimate. Solana, I don't really care for personally. I just don't like the way that blockchain was created and introduced. Ethereum is great. It's fantastic, but it's just so fucking expensive now. And it's not going to be changed anytime soon, even with ETH2 and sharding and all the other stuff. And so I've been into the Tezos ecosystem for a really long time now. I run nodes and bakeries, and I'm releasing our NFT project on Tezos. And so I would highly recommend you experiment with that blockchain because it's affordable. There's the gas fees are pennies, and you can do everything that Ethereum can do and more. And it's really cool.
I've been looking at Ethereum like, my goodness, that is not cheap. Yeah, I've actually got the Tezos portal pulled up now. That's my to-do this week is to watch their videos and get a sense there.
Yeah, it's basically the same operation and feel as Ethereum because it's the same type of interface, same type of wallets, just a different blockchain, a different way of doing things. And dude, I love that community, man. I love it. I'm biased. I've been in it for a long time, but man, I love it. And for the reasons that I love it for the reasons that I dislike Ethereum.
Yeah. I'll check that out. Any other recommendations or suggestions? Because this has been super helpful. At least just let me talk to somebody that understands this stuff. My wife thinks NFT is a file type. My cousin works for one of Mark Cuban's companies, and she did an NFT for the metaverse as part of a training that they completed. And she took, I don't know if it was company funds or whatever it was, but created individual certificate or diplomas or degrees or something like that for everybody that went through it, minted as an NFT.
I mint my diplomas for my business school's NFTs.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Yep.
So is there any, they can't go around and sell their diploma to somebody else though, right?
Yeah, they could. Yeah, they could. Just like I could sell this cup if I wanted to. Yeah. They just take the diploma. It's a digital asset, and now they can sell it. Now, had I just sent them a picture of their diploma, can they really sell that? I don't really know. I don't know. You can sell a picture of it, but you can't sell the actual physical item that, proves that it was transferred. And so it will never, ever be a question whether somebody has completed my business school or not, because they'll be able to trace the NFT back to my wallet.
Gotcha.
One day there's going to be some clout behind that, having an early diploma from my business school. And one day in the future, maybe 10 years, maybe 5, maybe 15, someone's going to be like, yo, check this out. I'd be like, bro, come into the fold. Come here. You know what I mean?
I wonder if there's because I don't, with my clients, the completion of their program is their job, is them landing a new job. I wonder if there's some value in doing just that. Like, hey, congrats, new job. Here's an NFT certifying that you worked with me. I don't know how that monetizes.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the hard part. It's a monetized. And why would the employer care if they don't know who you are? So, that's why I'm like, also keep in the back of your mind that when you get into NFTs, you might need to find a different problem to solve that's unrelated to resumes. Even though it's your wheelhouse and it's your business, you might have to try something on the side for fun and not combine the two in order to have the maximum benefit for the customer.
Yeah. That's also a good point.
That's what I did. Like our NFT, when you own our NFT, we send you food. We collect all kinds of rare, cool, interesting consumer packaged goods from all over the world. And if you're a holder, we just send it to you. It's just part of your membership. And I think that's really cool. And it stimulates conversation and talk around food and like, because I love eating. I'm a foodie. And so, yeah, it's interesting. And so it's completely separate from everything else that we're doing.
Interesting.
Just so that I can have that under my experience and my toolkit of having launched a project.
Interesting.
All on Tezos, though, that's for sure. Because, man, I do not want to pay gas. If I'm going to airdrop people stuff, I don't want to eat the gas fees.
Yeah. That was the eye-opening thing for me when I was playing on Ethereum. I'm like, good Lord, that stuff's expensive. And, you know, for somebody that's just trying it out, like you're asking people to really risk going up in literal flames.
Yeah, no joke, especially when it takes $100 worth of gas to buy a $50 NFT. And you're like, how do I get started in this? And it's like, bro, you can't.
Yeah. Well, cool, Evan. Well, I appreciate the time, man. This has been helpful.
Great.
Just let me talk through some of this stuff.
Yeah, man. I'm glad we could help. If you ever need anything, you know where to find me. And I wish you the best of luck in your ventures, man. I'm super curious to see how it goes. But,
cool, man. I appreciate it.
Get on Tezos NFT Twitter.
Tezos
a lot of good resources. Yeah, just start searching up the hashtag Tezos on Twitter and start getting involved in the community. And the answers will start to come to you the more time you spend there.
I'll follow that hashtag now.
Hell yeah, dude. That makes me happy. One more Tezos person in the community. I like it.
There we go.
All right, Franklin.
Evan, I appreciate it, man. Have a good one.
You too, my friend. Bye-bye.
Bye.